Hey, this is Angel. This is my 14th day in a row doing a video like this. That just seems so crazy to me because I feel like I just started, but 14 videos, like, just it seems like a lot to me to just kind of pick up and start doing. So I'm really happy that I've been able to be consistent with it, and we'll see how long I can keep going for. Um, Okay, so something that came up for me today was learning new things and making mistakes while we learn those things, and what that process is like. So, I've mentioned before that like I recently started getting into music, and I was practicing today, and for some reason, like I just felt like I was somehow worse than the day before. They were just like things that I was messing up on that like I usually am able to do, and I just started getting kind of hard on myself, and I was kind of like telling myself like, "Oh, like um maybe this isn't for me, or maybe like I'm just like not good at this." Like the negative self-talk started to come in. And then I started kind of thinking about it. I had watched a video the day before, and it was talking about how like we should pursue the things that we feel the most ease around, that we do like naturally. And I thought back to wanting to be able to sew. So I do like sewing and like making stuff in that way too. And I was like, I was so bad at sewing when I first started. Like I couldn't get it right. I kept getting frustrated. I didn't know, like, I even took a class, and it was like that didn't really like make me feel any more confident in it. And over time, I just kept wanting to do more projects, and I was like challenging myself, and I got better. And now I'm like kind of decent at sewing. Like I can, like pick it up and like and like make stuff. Um, I'm not like, I wouldn't like consider myself like a pro yet or anything, but I can like make some things from my imagination and like into reality. And I felt like I was making a lot of fast progress in music. Like I was like learning guitar. I started to feel like I was like really like learning it, like being able to have some momentum in it. And it was getting me really excited. And so I kept like wanting to go on. And then I don't know, like I just had like an off day, and it just felt like I was two steps behind even. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like why am I putting so much pressure on myself to learn something at such a rapid rate? And I started like kind of filtering out that self-talk of like, listening to these things that say like, oh, like you should focus on the things that like you're naturally good at. And I was just thinking like, I don't know if I was naturally good at anything, but at the same time it kind of feels like maybe I'm naturally good at everything. It's just like about like how I'm singing it, how I'm thinking about it, and like how I'm rolling like with the momentum of learning something. And I could have the option of like, being hard on myself, telling myself like, oh, like I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna learn this, or like, I'm giving up in this. But it's like that's just that's just like a little bit of a challenge, like that's just like a little bit of a a type of like resistance that like can be overcome. And sometimes I think that resistance comes too when I'm distracted, or like my mind is kind of like in other places while I'm trying to do something, or my nervous system isn't calm enough to be able to like focus on that thing and and do it to like the best of my ability. Um and sometimes like there are just moments where we feel like off, we feel scattered, we're putting pressure on ourselves, and then things don't come out like the way that we hope or the way that we envision them. Um, it was like it was like 11:11 right now while I was thinking about that, and I really like felt that energy of like wanting to just like kind of like wanting to wish on something, and I was just having like this moment of feeling like, oh, like I want to keep pouring into everything that I have going on right now. I want to keep like being creative. I want to see like how far I can go with it. And I think like we get good at whatever we continue to do, whatever we continue to practice. And I was thinking about that like even language, it's like as a child, like as a kid like learning to speak, we're not like good at it. It's just a lot of repetition to the point where we can do it. Same with a lot of different kinds of skills. And I think a lot of it too has to do with like exposure, like what we're around, what we're consistently around. And so it was just like making me think about that. Like, why be hard on myself when I'm making mistakes or when I'm learning something new, when I really could be approaching it like as if I'm a child, as if I'm a child that's learning something new, and the more I do it, the better I'll get. And I don't need to think that I'm I'm supposed to be like predisposed to something. It's like maybe that could be true, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't learn something if I didn't want to, if I didn't set my mind to it, if I didn't practice. Like, I'd totally be able to do anything as long as I'm like taking the steps to learn it, taking the time, putting the energy into it. Like, eventually it comes, like, eventually, like, things start to happen and it starts to click. And I thought about like so many skills, so many things that I do now where I'm just like, oh yeah, I was really bad at that when I first started. Like, I wasn't necessarily like naturally good at it, but I just liked to do it. I had the desire, and that desire was my driving force to be able to continue to learn it and to get better at it and to want to practice. Um, I brought up like learning a language too. Like, I grew up like with my parents like speaking Spanish in my house, but like at the same time, like because I was speaking English, like I didn't always pick it up until I started like really being exposed, like being around like more family members, being like traveling, like being around other family where it's like it was spoken more often, and then I kind of started to pick it up more, and like it was started to become like very easy to just like understand, and my ears like attuned to it. I was like my brain was like trained to it because of exposure and like what I was around. Um and so I think the same thing is true for like learning things, and I don't think that like we should limit ourselves ever to like what we can learn, like what we are capable of. It's like just because there's like a little bit of resistance or like blockage, or like there's moments where like something gets hard, it doesn't mean that we can't just like keep going and get better, like improve and start to really feel like those skills come like second nature, like very easily. And it feels like it comes like it just comes like naturally. And it was just making me think like I think like we all have the ability to do like whatever we want. It's just about like how we choose to spend our time, like where our energy is flowing, what we're like processing. And I think it's so cool to like see people embracing being like multifaceted and not telling ourselves like that we can only do one thing or that we can only focus on one area. It's like we can focus on multiple areas and still be really good at those things. And like I meet people sometimes where like they'll be like, musicians, but they'll also be good at like making art, making visual art, or like someone who is very good at cooking, but they're also like a very talented writer. Like there's so many different things that we can be at the same time. And it's just about like where we're directing our energy, how much time, and I don't even think it's just time, but I think it's focus. And I think time and focus are not the same thing. There have been like many moments where I've been able to do things almost like surprise myself, like do things very well, very quickly. And then there are other times where like it takes me a lot longer, or other times where like I'll be trying and I keep messing up, or like I can't get it right and I just try again. And I think it's like being able to like pair that attention and that focus with like presence and awareness. Um there are like many things that like I've felt that where like I was able to, in a way, like access abilities, access skills, access like an ease of learning just because I was very aware and I was very present and I was asking myself, like, how to do something. Taking in information, but also like listening to the information that I just have, like inside, like what am I hearing, like what is my inner self like telling me about this thing that I'm doing, and being able to make connections that way, and being able to have like presence enough to develop a skill, to put energy and focus into something that like you can then improve on. But I think just hearing that video like about how like we should focus on the things that come naturally to us, it's like I do think that there are things that maybe we like gravitate toward, but I don't think that to say we should just do things that come naturally, like I feel like that's kind of like limiting. Like just because something isn't easy right away doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't come naturally. It just means that like it takes a different kind of focus and a different kind of presence than we're used to. And I feel like if we can reframe things in that way, so much opens up. Like we can expand so much because we're allowing ourselves to have that exploration, to be able to like give ourselves time and space to be curious again, and to like develop ourselves without judgment, without feeling like something needs to amount to something, or without like the pressure to being able to do something very quickly or to get good very quickly. Like I think because like we're living in such a fast-paced society like in the United States, it's like so many things are commodified, and it makes it feel like, especially in the city, like it makes it feel like we're constantly assessing the value of things and assessing our time value of things, which makes it more discouraging if we're not good at something right away. It makes it harder to like take the first step into learning something new, or it makes like if we're not on track with progress, like on track with our progress to learning something, it can make it feel like that much more frustrating because everything feels like it's limited. Like our time is limited, our energy is limited. We have so many things like going on, the movement and flow of like energy around us, and like the environment feels very fast paced. And so it makes it feel like we don't have like we're limited in our time and focus to give to something new. But I think that when we take that time, it's like very rewarding. It helps just like open ourselves up more. I definitely feel like that with myself. It's like learning new skills and not being afraid to be bad at it at first makes it so that like I have learned so many cool things. I've been able to like expand the things that I've been able to do because of skills that I've learned that maybe I wasn't good at like the first week, the first few days, the first few months. But then over time, picking it up again, trying it again, somehow along the way, like things just start to click and I start to get better. And pretty soon I'm like, oh, I'm like, I can do this. Like, I can do this pretty easily. Like, it feels natural to do this. And it's just like having like some kind of like sense of training. And that can happen through like classes, that can happen through schooling, like different things, but it can also just happen with like yourself. Like I love like teaching myself things. And when I say teaching myself, I do use like, YouTube, like use videos, like I use like it's not like so solitary like I'm just the one, but it's like giving myself space and time and also asking myself like making connections, making trying to understand something for myself and trying again until I get it right. And I think that's like how all of us really learn. Like, even if someone tells us something, it's like we still have to, especially with like skills, it's like we still have to like do it ourselves. We still have to like put in the energy and effort ourselves to be able to get better at it. Or like to just be able to feel like we know something well, we know how to do something well. Um, yeah, I think that's what I have so far. I don't think we should ever like limit ourselves to what we want to learn. It's like if the desire is there, that alone is enough information to tell me that I can be good at that thing, that I can learn that thing and do it well. It's like I'm like in the process of learning guitar right now. It's like knowing that I have the desire to learn guitar is enough for me to feel like I can I can do it. Like I can play it. I can like continue to get better. I can do it like well. Maybe I am not able to do all of the things I want to yet, but having that desire means that at some point I will. At some point it will click. And I felt the same way, like I was talking about like sewing earlier. It's like I had the desire to like make clothes, like make accessories and things like that. And it's like that desire alone meant that I had the ability. Maybe it doesn't happen right away, but over time it came to fruition. and sticking with things and like not being afraid if we mess up. It's like, okay, you mess up, you do it again. You put like you put the reps in, you put the work in, like to be able to get good at that thing. And over time, like you'll start to see it. You'll start to see how it's not the like the skill doesn't feel so difficult anymore. It's like second nature. It's just something that you know how to do, and you continue to grow on like as long as you keep putting energy into it. Um and I feel like that's so exciting. Like that to me is like so cool cuz I'm just like, yeah, like we have like so much capability, like, and so much intrinsic knowledge too, that like if we tap into it, we can be so good at like anything that we set our minds to, as long as we're like putting that focus, combining that focus and presence, and being able to keep up with like the repetition of it, and have that kind of sense of like discipline with it. It's like it things take longer sometimes because we're not putting that focus and presence into it. And like having that momentum going. It's like I think sometimes I've had moments where I'm like, oh, I'm like, I don't like, I'm getting frustrated, like I don't feel like I'm good at that thing, so like I'm just gonna like put it away for now. But then when I pick it up again, it's like I'm building off of what I had previously learned. So it's not a loss. Like sometimes it's just a matter of like refocusing to something else and then going back to it when we feel like we can better give it like attention and have more patience with something. Um yeah, I think that we can do anything we want to. Um and that's the cool part about life and being able to just like be out here. Like we have choices all the time, and whatever we're like putting our energy in, it will grow. Maybe not like right away, but you know, it takes like a long time for plants to grow. Like I think about how like an oak tree is. It's like oak trees are so big, they can like provide wood, provide so many things, and they start off as these small, tiny seeds. That seed is already a tree. It just hasn't taken the time to like grow yet, but it has the capability, it has the capacity to be a tree. It just needs to be watered, it needs sunlight, it needs to just have that time to grow and have space to grow. But eventually it does become the thing. And I feel like we're the same way. We already have all the capacity, all the capability already within us. It's just about nurturing it, watering it, watching it grow, giving it the time and necessary attention, and eventually it happens. Um, yeah, keep doing what you do. Stay chill, and it was good chatting. Talk soon.